limitations, or you can say shortcomings in DeepSeek. The major one is, if you are using DeepSeek, if you share any of your personal information, that will be getting stored in the Chinese database servers, right? It will directly go to the People's Republic of China servers. Now if I just go and run this, okay, you'll see that it is able to play this game, right? Okay, now let's just try to ask this diplomatic question. Okay, is Arunachal Pradesh a part of India? Yes, Arunachal Pradesh is recognized as a part of India. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about a new LLM model that has taken the world by storm, right? And the model is DeepSeek. So as soon as DeepSeek was introduced to the tech world, Nvidia lost its 600 billion market value, and its share almost fell by 20% in one day. So that was a huge setback for the entire Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley people have just panicked out as soon as this Chinese model DeepSeek has launched. So in today's video, what we'll try to do, we'll try to first understand what is so special in DeepSeek and why everyone is talking about DeepSeek, how it is different from ChatGPT, and why it is better than ChatGPT that everyone is talking about. How to start using DeepSeek, okay? Both obviously in their app and obviously locally we'll see how to use DeepSeek in various use cases. So if I just talk about DeepSeek, as you can see, the first thing they've written here is DeepSeek-R1, right? Is now live and open source, rivaling OpenAI's model O1, right? They're directly targeting OpenAI here. So that's a very funny thing to see here, okay? Now, if we just get into the technicals right now, so DeepSeek is a reinforcement learning based LLM model, okay? Unlike ChatGPT, which is a supervised fine-tuned model. Now, what do we mean by these two things? And see, ChatGPT is a supervised fine-tuned model, right? LLM model. So which is basically trained on labeled data, okay? Just like supervised learning works. But DeepSeek, as it is built using the reinforcement learning algorithm. So by reinforcement learning, what do you mean? Let's say a baby is trying to walk for the first time, right? They will crawl, they will stand up, they will fall down, then they finally learn to how to take the first step, right? Or if you have seen the robotics car that are there, right? AI robots or self-driving cars that are there, self-driving vehicles, all those are actually built using reinforcement learning, okay? So reinforcement learning in plain term, it means you try out few things, okay? Given you are exposed to a dynamic environment, the algorithm is exposed to a dynamic environment. You will try out few things, okay? Few things might work, few things might not work for you, okay? Finally, you want to collect the rewards from each of the actions that you are taking and try to maximize the reward, okay? Reward has been as in the expected output that you want from a given algorithm or from a given action. So that's how reinforcement learning works. You try out different things, okay? Take feedbacks, try to maximize your reward. That's the plain explanation I can give about reinforcement learning. So DeepSeek is built upon that actually. It's not a supervised fine-tuned model as OpenAI's GPT models. It's a reinforcement-based model. And the beautiful thing about DeepSeek is when you ask it a question, right? It will try to first think, generate some answers, then reevaluate its own answer whether it is going in the correct path or correct direction or not to give you a good answer for your question. Then it will finally give you an answer. We'll see that, okay, when we'll be using the DeepSeek application, we'll see how its thinking process works, okay. It actually shows the thinking process, like how it is thinking about a given problem, which ChatGPT doesn't ideally, right? It doesn't give you how it is thinking, it just directly gives you the output. So that's one good thing about DeepSeek. And next thing about DeepSeek is, so you can use the distilled model, okay. Distilled model has nothing but it's a kind of a smaller model, okay. I mean a smaller model with equivalent power as equivalent power as the bigger model, okay. So you distill the bigger model to a smaller model so that laptops or desktops or computers or machines with low configuration of storage or RAM, even they can run the model. So that's the beauty about this distilled model that DeepSeek model supports, right? So that was about what is DeepSeek actually, and what are the key features of DeepSeek. Okay, but now let's discuss why is it better than ChatGPT. Okay, it is better than ChatGPT in a few ways. First of all, it's completely free. It's an open source model, unlike ChatGPT, which is a closed source software, right? So it's an open source software. It's free, and as you can see here, it is as par as with the OpenAI's model O1. They are directly claiming it. Okay, so which is actually a $200 model. Okay, so OpenAI's GPT O1 I'm talking about. It's actually $200 model. So, and the next thing is, which I already talked about, DeepSeek shows you the thinking process. So when you ask it a question, right, it shows you the thinking process, right? It tries to break down the problem step by step. It tries to generate the answer, reevaluate the answer, okay, intermediate answers, be confirmed about whether the answer it is generating is going in the correct direction or not, then it will generate a final answer. The next thing why it is better than ChatGPT is, if you want to use the DeepSeek API, okay, for your own use case or for your own development, it will actually cost you 27 times cheaper than the OpenAI models. Okay, when you use OpenAI APIs, they are actually 27 times higher cost than the DeepSeek APIs. So that's that's enough of reason for anyone to start giving a thought to DeepSeek, okay, and start using DeepSeek and explore its power and leverage its power. But there are obviously some limitations, or you can say shortcomings in DeepSeek. The major one is, if you are using DeepSeek, whatever information if you are sharing here, right? If you share any of your personal information, that will be getting stored in the Chinese database servers, right? It will directly go to the People's Republic of China servers. So, and the next thing is about the censorship. When you ask this Chinese model some questions about China, I mean, which might be a little bit political or and a little bit of diplomacy involved, it will try to ignore that question and simply answer that I don't know how to answer it, right? For example, I just asked the DeepSeek model, is Arunachal Pradesh a part of India? It tells her, sorry, I'm not sure to how to approach this type of question. Okay, let's chat about math, coding, and logic problems instead. But if you ask the same question to ChatGPT, you'll get a proper answer, right? So this is how it tries to be a bit diplomatic, and it tries to avoid this kind of questions, which are little bit of political nature, right? With that said, let's see how to use the DeepSeek to our various use cases. First, you just have to to see its capabilities. You can just start using the chat interface in the web browser directly. As soon as you ask some question, let's say we have asked it to create a game for us, okay, using JavaScript. You just see how it is thinking. So this is the thinking process that it is showing. Okay, I need to create a shooting game using Python and Pygame. Then it talks about setting the environment, then discuss about the player, how to design the player, then what to do with the shooting. Then it comes up with a code. The next time when I asked it to create it using JavaScript, again, it just thought of the entire solution, okay, it's step by step, then it generated a game like this. Okay, now if I just go and run this, okay, you'll see that, see, it is able to play this game, right? So this is how it is able to smartly generate and develop games even. So the coding wise it is very good. Now let's just try with the math problem, as it's said to try with a math problem. So we asked it to see what is the value of sine 60 by cos square 180. So it is tried to think, then it is divided the problem into step by step. And actually here you can see how it is trying to think, right? I mean, if you go through its thinking process, it will help you, understanding the problem better, and it will tell you how to approach a given problem, given math problem or given coding problem, right? Going through these steps might improve your just analytical skills about approaching a problem. So that's what the beauty, that's what I like about this model, because it clearly showcases the thinking or the thought process behind the solutions that it is giving, right? And finally it gives an answer. So that's how you use DeepSeek platform in its chat UI, right? Obviously there are some limitations as you already discussed. Let's just discuss how to use this chat model locally, right? So to run this locally, what we'll do, we'll use Ollama, right? So Ollama, I've already created a video about Ollama. So Ollama is nothing but it's a tool, okay, which helps you run open source models, free models locally in your system. So for that, you just have to go to Ollama, download it in your desktop, okay? I've already downloaded it. Then you just have to go to models, okay? And here you'll find all the list of the models, okay, that you can use actually. So today we are going to try DeepSeek. So as soon as you install Ollama, I've already installed, you just have to open the desktop application. It will run a Ollama server like this, okay, in the background. Now you just have to open your terminal. Then if you see in the Ollama model section, DeepSeek-R1 models has a lot of models available, right? And the full-fledged model contains around 671 billion parameters, which is the size is very huge, 404 GB. I cannot obviously download this to test locally. Obviously, you can try the distilled version, which I already discussed in the beginning of the video. Using this distilled version of the model, you can actually explore its capability, right? You can actually play with this model. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try out this model. It's a small model. So in order to run this, you just have to first run this command, okay? Ollama run, then the model and model name and the tag value, right? Just run this. It will try to install it. Okay, let's wait for some time. It's a 1.1G model. So let it install. So once it is installed, what it will do, it will start a terminal based chat interface for you. Okay, let's just wait till it's installed. It will some extra artifacts from it, pull some additional layers for it, right? And yeah, you see now it is installed that model on our machine. Okay, now let's just try to ask this diplomatic question. Okay, is Arunachal Pradesh a part of India? So it gives us the thinking process now. Yes, Arunachal Pradesh is recognized as a part of India. Because the model is running locally, it doesn't have the proper control on the type of output. Okay, but if you use it in the DeepSeek interface, it will definitely try to ignore these questions. Is India better than China? Let's just try to play with this model. So in the meantime, it answers. So this is a terminal-based interface that Ollama gives you to interact with the models and just take a glance of the models that you've installed. But if you don't like the terminal-based interface, obviously you can use the Python-based client, right? Python Ollama client is there. I've already discussed how to use these local models using Ollama client using Python in my this video. You can click on the icon to watch that. So you can obviously use another tool called AnythingLLM. Okay, so you can use AnythingLLM. So AnythingLLM lets you use the models locally for free. Okay, all the open source models you can actually run in your local machine, and it will give you a beautiful chat interface to interact with. So you can just go ahead and download it for your laptop and then open AnythingLLM. Okay, I'll just open the AnythingLLM, and here actually you can start using the model. Okay, so you can go to the settings, then go to all providers, okay, and LLM, and here you need to choose select Ollama, because we will be running the chat models through Ollama. Okay, and here I had already installed these two models. Okay, so DeepSeek we installed today, so you can actually select this model and click on save changes. Okay, now as soon as you go to AnythingLLM, okay, and create a workspace for us. Hi, who is Modi? Yeah, now you see it is showing us the thinking thought process, right? That is we saw here also and in here also. Okay, so using this anything LLM, you can actually run a local version of your chat model, all right, with a beautiful chat interface definitely. So that was about how you can use DeepSeek in its various forms. Okay, so I hope you understood about the DeepSeek and how to use and what makes it different from ChatGPT. Okay, so we discussed about what is DeepSeek, how it is different from ChatGPT, and one more thing. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. We are targeting to reach 2,500 subscribers by the end of this month. So I love to create videos around AI and cloud stuff. I myself work as a lead engineer. Okay, so I have experience in AI and system design concepts and its applications. Okay, and cloud computing. So let's target for 50 likes for this video. Okay, so if you got to know something about DeepSeek and how is it better than ChatGPT, what are its core features, what are its limitations, how to use the DeepSeek locally, just hit the thumbs up button. Okay, if you have any questions about whatever we discussed in this video, put them in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.